Acropolis Adventure, written by Troy Wolfe, illustrated by Marcy Ramsey. Dmitri the Greek. You must be Brady. Surprised, Brady stopped and looked around the cafe. Over here, young man, the voice continued. Are you Dmitri? Brady asked. Yes, he answered. Dmitri's head was completely bald and tanned by years in the sun. His eyes were bright and welcoming. Even though the man was sitting down, Brady could tell he was tall. Brady was on vacation with his parents in Greece. They had arranged for him to meet Dmitri, an old family friend, while they went to the Athens National Museum. So you know my dad? Brady asked. Yes, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have about Greece. Well, I don't have many questions, Brady answered with a shrug of his shoulders. All this ancient history and learning about other countries is kind of boring. Boring? Dmitri boomed. This is one of the most exciting cities in the world. We'll see about that, said Brady, not really interested. Winding around the Acropolis. Dmitri and Brady left the cafe. The pair walked toward the steep-sided hill called the Acropolis, which is Greece's most famous landmark. What are we doing here? Brady protested. Instead of answering, Dmitri led Brady toward a stone tower off to their left. It was a 2-story-high marble tower with 8 sides. At the top of each of the 8 flat sides was a carved figure. Brady, tell me what you see, Dmitri said, pointing to the tower. I guess I see a tower, Brady answered. That's obvious, Dmitri smiled. Look closer and tell me what you see. Brady shaded his eyes and focused. He noticed several small metal rods rusted with age. They poked out from the flat sides of the tower at odd angles. Each rod rose out from one of the carved figures. Dmitri, what are those rods for? Brady asked. This landmark is called the Tower of the Winds. Brady, look more closely at the carvings. Do you see the straight lines cutting through the carved figures? Yes, Brady answered. Do you know what a sundial is? Dmitri asked. Yeah, Brady answered. It tells time by the shadow created by the sun, right? Yes, this tower does indeed tell time, but it's also a calendar, said Dmitri. I don't understand, Brady said. It's quite brilliant, really, Dmitri continued. The sun changes position in the sky throughout the year. When hit by the shadow cast by the rod, the lines informed citizens of Athens of the exact time of day. They also revealed the exact time of year. That's kind of cool, Brady answered. Speaking of time, we better get moving. We have much to see, said Dmitri. Discovering the theater. Dmitri and Brady soon rejoined the crowds walking around the Acropolis. Suddenly, Brady gasped. Whoa, what's that? Stretching up toward the Acropolis stood row after row of stone benches. The benches brightly reflected the midday sun. "Brady, do you like movies?" "Yeah, of course," Brady answered. "All our ideas of drama and comedy began here with Greek theater." Brady tried to picture the stone theater filled with people. The actors must have struggled to have their lines heard by those seated in the very top rows. "Dmitri," Brady asked, "did they have microphones back then?" "Brady, it was 400 BC, Dmitri laughed. There were no microphones." "Then how could people watching from the top rows hear the actors on stage?" "It was all based on mathematics," Dmitri explained. "The theater was divided into 3 equal sections. There was a lower, middle, and upper section. Each section of the theater was tilted at a slightly higher angle than the level below it. This created a bowl that trapped the sound from the stage. No matter where you sat, the sound was the same." "I can't believe things like this could have been built so long ago," said Brady. "Well, my friend, just wait. We still have the Acropolis to visit," Dmitri said. Climbing to the top. "Dmitri, I don't know what the big deal is," Brady said. "We've walked all this way to see the Acropolis, but all it looks like is a bunch of broken rocks." "Brady, my young friend, be patient," Dmitri said. "You need to pay more attention to the little details of life. This is an important lesson for you to learn." Sure enough, after reaching the top, Brady's jaw dropped open at the sight before him. On the highest point of the Acropolis Hill stood a stone temple with massive columns of marble. It was as big as a modern football stadium, and it was decorated with carved figures. The entire building seemed to glow in the late afternoon light. Brady's thoughts spun as he pictured this temple being built by ancient people. "So, was it worth the climb?" Dmitri asked playfully. "Yes, it's awesome," Brady said. As the sun began to set, Brady thought about everything he'd seen. "You are right, Dmitri. I need to pay more attention to the details of life. I would have missed many of these sights if I had been by myself. Thank you for opening my eyes." "You don't need to thank me, my friend," Dmitri answered. He put a hand on Brady's shoulder and joined him in admiring the sunset. In the fading light, Brady thought to himself that he would leave Greece a different person than he was when he arrived.